Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be talking about holidays. Happy holidays!
For Christ's sake, will you just shut your trap?
Happy holidays!
Shut up!
I'm gonna be talking to you guys about American holidays versus Russian holidays. What are the Russian holidays? How different they are from American holidays, and about American holidays, how different they are from Russian holidays. Which are my favorite, which are my least favorite. The first holiday we're gonna be talking about is my favorite, which is Christmas. That's right.
I hate Christmas!
So as you know, you guys, American Christmas is on December 25th. And every single thing that Americans do for their Christmas, opening presents, Christmas tree, gathering together and having good time and all that spirit and fun, Russians do on New Year's Eve. Americans open their presents on Christmas Day, and Russians open their presents on either New Year's Eve night or New Year's Day. Usually it's more common for kids to open on New Year's Day because they go to bed early, they wake up and they open presents like Americans do on Christmas Day. Adults open their presents that night, New Year's Eve night, after midnight. You have to wait after midnight, after it's New Year's, and then you can open your presents right away, or you can open them throughout the night while you're celebrating. Another difference between American Christmas and Russian New Year's Eve is that we have a different Santa. Russian Santa is completely different. His name is Ded Moroz.
Песенку, спи, елочка, бай-бай.
Which in English would be translated as Grandfather Frost. And he comes with his granddaughter. Her name is Snegurочка, which in English would be Snow Maiden. So there are no elves like American Santa has. We have his granddaughter who helps him with the presents and treating children with love and fun. Another tradition that we do on New Year's Eve is usually 5 to 10 minutes before New Year's Eve starts. We have President's speech, and then we'll listen to the chiming clock. And then right after midnight, we have a Russian anthem. The next holiday is Russian Christmas, which is followed on January 7th. The reason why Russia celebrates Christmas on January 7th is because we follow by the Russian Orthodox Church, and they basically follow Julian calendar, which is a little different than Georgian calendar that America and a lot of European countries follow. Now, Russian Christmas is kind of similar to American Thanksgiving, right? You get together, lots of food, you drink, you have fun, your family, your friends, you do lots of shots, you get drunk. Then we have Old New Year's Eve that we celebrate on January 13th. Why? I don't know. So Old New Year's Eve is it's an informal holiday, and it is kind of like not a real holiday. It's basically New Year's Eve by the Julian calendar again. So it basically shifted 2 weeks from the real holiday, real New Year's Eve. That whole time, right, Russia is celebrating. First, they started with New Year's Eve on 31st. Then we have Russian Christmas on January 7th. Then we have Old New Year's Eve, January 14th. So basically, those whole 2 weeks from December 31st to January 14th, everybody's drunk and everybody's having the best time ever.
You know what I'm in the mood for? A party. Who wants to come to my fire for a swinging shindig, huh?
The next holiday that's really big in Russia is International Women's Day. And I noticed when I moved here that America doesn't care for that at all. A lot of Americans don't even know that that holiday even exists. It's kind of like international, right? You would think it's International Women's Day, and people know about that holiday, but it's like nobody celebrates it here. Where in Russia, it's a huge holiday. It's basically a day when all the women are celebrating. Always buy flowers to your moms, and to your grandma, to your sister, to your aunt, basically all the women relatives you have. You call them, happy March 8th, happy March 8th. You bring them flowers, you buy them cards or candy. It's a very popular Russian holiday that for some reason, America doesn't celebrate. So I would say the similar holiday to that in America would be Mother's Day. But again, Mother's Day is very limited, right? It's only like your mom or your grandma or like any kind of mother, so it's very limited holiday. Where in Russia, that big holiday, International Women's Day, it's basically all women are celebrating. And another holiday we have in Russia is called Defender of the Fatherland, and it is on February 23rd. That holiday was made to celebrate people that served in the army, but eventually that holiday got changed because we have International Women's Day where all the women are celebrated, so men got upset and they like, why don't we have our own Men Day? So not just only for veterans and for people that were in armies or future soldiers, but any man can celebrate it. So now it changed and basically it's kind of like became a Men's Day, right? So all the women buy their men some gifts, and basically it's the same thing as Women's Day, but now it's a Men's Day. I think the closest holiday here would be Veterans Day, and maybe Father's Day as well, kind of like that same category. So next holiday I'm gonna be talking about is one of my favorites because I love to eat. Maslenitsa, which is an unofficial holiday in Russia. It's very old-fashioned Eastern Slavic holiday, which we still celebrate every year. That holiday is going on for the whole week. It starts on Monday and it's over on Sunday. And it usually starts on the 8th week before Easter. So that's it. Another name for that holiday is called Crepe Week. All week long, you eat crepes. They look like this. If you from a rich family, you would put some caviar and make it nice and fancy. Or for example, if you're from the wealthy family, right, you would put black caviar. Or if you're poor, which my family was, you just basically dip it in sour cream or jam or condensed milk. I like this condensed milk. It's very Russian and it's delicious. You take a spoon of condensed milk, you put it on the crepe, and you put more, and then you smear it all over.
And you smear.
Just smear and smear, 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 smear.
Men smear. Smear.
Smear. Then you go like this, and then you go like that, and then you go like this, and you got a delicious crepe. Deliciousness. The whole holiday is about saying goodbye to the winter and welcoming spring. Also, they built this like a Maslenitsa lady scarecrow thingy on Monday. They keep it for a week, and then Sunday they burn that shit off. So it's basically like a winter doll thingy going on, right? So they kind of burning the winter, and the spring is coming. So all happy days. Okay, let's talk about Easter. Russian Easter is very similar to American Easter, except, again, it's on a different date. That goddamn Julian calendar again. So basically, Russian Easter is either a Sunday before or a Sunday after Catholic Easter. Because we follow by Julian calendar, sometimes it happens that it follows on the same day. Basically, Russian Easter is very similar. You color eggs and you go to church, but we have no bunnies. Why are there bunnies on American Easter? I have no idea. Russia doesn't have any bunnies, but we do make this special cake that's called kulich. It's kind of like a big cupcake with like a frosting and raisins inside, and we call them kulich. It's basically an Easter cake that you have to make every year for Easter. So Easter cake, eggs, church. Now, another big holiday in Russia is Victory Day, which is celebrated on May 9th. Victory Day is the day when Russia won Second World War in 1945. Russia is taking this holiday very seriously. It's probably one of the biggest holidays in the country. They do big parades every year. They do lots of concerts, and they sing about the war, all these famous singers. Then they play war movies all day long, and of course in the evening there's a huge fireworks. I would say similar holiday here would be Memorial Day and Veterans Day. And then I just wanted to mention you guys that things like Halloween and Valentine's Day, which is like very American holidays, Russia adapted those holidays, so now it's kind of like every year is becoming more and more popular. Even back in the day when I lived there 12 years ago, people would still celebrate, you know, Valentine's Day and Halloween. Now that you learned a little bit about Russian holidays, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you next week. Mwah!